Morning, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you've not been here before. Let me start by apologising. The channel's not very exciting. I'm just recovering from a gallbladder surgery, so unfortunately I haven't been able to get out, which is why I've just been doing lots of little gear reviews, a little bit of stuff about the Lanshan Pro 2 which I've got, and some of the adaptations I've made to that. Hopefully you'll find the channel gets a lot more interesting when I can get out and about, take the tent out, show you my bikepacking setup, talk a bit about how I came to get to be a cyclist in the first place, what I plan to do in the future, some of the trips I've been on before. But for the time being, I'm restricted to indoor activities while I recover. So without further ado, let's talk about what I'm going to look at today. And today I've been umming and ahhing as to whether to get a little electric pump for my sleep mat, my inflatable sleep mat. Now I've seen the therm-a-rest ones. I think they're about £40, which seemed incredibly expensive for a tiny little pump. I know you can use the stuff sacks and they're all very good. Obviously don't require any batteries and can inflate a mat fairly quickly, and obviously if you're going lightweight then that's great. Then whilst I was browsing the internet, got not much else to do at the minute while I recover, as I say, I came across this. This is the Flextailgear tiny pump, and when I say it's tiny, it literally is tiny. Has a built-in light. That's the pump, and if you do a long press, you've got a little built-in light at the bottom which you can vary the brightness on, which again is quite useful. 2 presses turns the pump on. Now that will inflate and deflate. This is the inflate valve here, and this is the deflate valve. It's got lots of little adapters for various things. I don't think there's going to be anything you can't inflate or deflate with this. Comes in a little bag like that, and it was £20 on Amazon. I'll put a link down below. Equally, if you are interested in this channel, please like, comment or subscribe. Again, I'll put a link across the bottom there reminding you at the end of the video to do that. The link's not interactive, it's just to remind you to go down below and please leave a comment or like and subscribe if you like the channel. What I wanted to know though regarding this was how many times on one charge, bearing in mind I've just turned it on and off there but was fully charged, can this inflate my Outkit cloud base roll mat. So without further ado, let's get to it. So another reason you would want to use something like this mini pump or one of the stuff sacks where you put air in rather than blowing directly in your mouth is to prevent the moisture from your mouth getting into the mat. I have seen some cases online where people have got mold inside these where they've used their breath to inflate them over time. So that's another reason why you might choose to use something like a mini pump or a stuff sack or a schnozzle, I think they're called for some particular makes. I'm going to use this. We can have a look on the video afterwards. I'm just going to push the adapter into the Outkit there, pop that on there, double press, and away she goes. It's not taking very long at all to inflate this. Obviously you can't see the whole thing, but that's straightening out now. And as you can probably hear, that's done. So that's one. Get all the air out of it. push that valve. Throw it back out, turn it back on. So, what did we learn about this little Flextailgear tiny pump? Really is tiny. Well, I did 20 inflations of the Alpkit sleep mat. I know it's a pretty small mat, and obviously this is not horrendously scientific. I obviously didn't get all of the air out every time, as much as you would if you properly deflated it. It's to give a rough idea as to how many times you might be able to inflate an average sleep mat. I did 20, then got bored and decided that what I'd do after 20 inflations, which took roughly 22 seconds per inflation, what I then did is I left this running by itself. Having already done the 20 inflations, it ran for another 13 minutes 20 seconds. The red light came on and it slowed significantly at about 11 minutes 10 seconds. So if we go based on the 11 minutes 10 seconds, which is when it started to really slow down, I think that works out about 670 seconds, and if you divide that by 22, it's approximately another 30 inflations. So add that to the 20 that we already did, and I'm pretty confident in saying that you'd get approximately 50 inflations of an average sleeping mat on one charge. Obviously, temperature will affect the battery in here. Size of your mat will depend on how much it takes. So if you had a mat that was twice as thick, maybe one of these long wide mats, then you might half that. But even so, 25 inflations on this on a single, well worth it for me. How much does it weigh? Well, this by itself, I've just put it on the kitchen scales. It weighs 80, let me just check my notes, 85.7 grams by itself with no adapters. In the bag with all the adapters, it's 106.7 grams. So if you've obviously just got this and one adapter for your particular type of sleep mat, then you won't necessarily be over the 100 grams. And I don't think that's too bad. Obviously, if you use the little light on it, then that will reduce. But I think you can safely say, regardless of what roll mat you've got, you could definitely get 2 weeks of inflation, not deflating with this, but inflation with this. I think you can safely say you can get a whole 2 weeks on the one charge. It's USB-C to charge it up, which is convenient because a lot of things are that now. If you found this useful or interesting, or even if you found it utterly boring, please leave a comment below telling me how I can improve the channel, anything else you might want to see. Like and subscribe, and like I've been saying all along, I've got some of the gear and I've got some idea. That's all I can say. Till next time, cheers.